Yeah, it does. I'm sick. I'm allowed.
Are we going?
I don't know. Oh, we're going apparently.
Oh, we're going.
You can edit this, don't worry.
Oh God. Yeah. Okay. So we got to get some stuff out of the way. It's Wednesday, and my mom has. My mother's lawyers have told me that she will definitively never pick up the phone to answer questions from me.
Ever
on a Wednesday night now.
Wow.
Yeah. Right.
Rude.
And I thought so too. There's nothing coming out of my headphones, so I'm taking them off.
Just turn it. Well, we didn't get a real good proper start anyway.
No, we didn't.
Is there? Is it turned on?
Oh.
What? Nobody's getting anything.
Did you hear? Were you hearing anything?
No, I was just going with it. I was just. I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything because.
You didn't want to be the audience.
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay. Hey, we're ready.
This podcast is made by dirty, stupid goblins and their equally horrible guests. They don't believe anything they're saying, and neither should you. It's definitely not for kids, unless their parents are hilariously irresponsible or unbelievably rad, like high on peyote, jumping the dirt bike over the creek, kind of awesome. You know what I'm talking about.
All the freaks by the side of the road, they all say they don't like what they see. All the freaks by the side of the road, they all sit there just staring at me. All the people on the other side, they all stay there just waiting to slide. All the freaks by the side of the road, they all smile at me as I pass.
Hi, thanks for listening to Why Don't We Have Our Own Show, the show that answers its damn question. I'm Scott. I'm your host. I'm managing my diabetes.
And I'm your also host, Ann, box dial gremlin, who is doing her best for God's sake.
We're both feeling a little under the weather, and you've been sick. You've had the flu now, or some sort of like contagious, some whooping cough or something.
Yeah,
for
something. I don't know what it is.
the last 5 days or whatever.
I'm not a medical professional. All I know is I've been like horking up things for the last few days, and it's not been pleasant.
You've been producing Shrek-like things.
Yeah, I've been making Shreks.
Oh, because I wonder that's probably how they make Shreks.
That it is exactly how Shreks are made.
So yeah, I was just before we started recording, I was taking off my my sweatshirt because I'm like I want to be comfortable, and you thought I was just stripping.
Yeah, I thought you were just straight up taking off your shirt. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
I guess that's how it's gonna be. How we're gonna start that show. You're just gonna do it shirtless.
Zip. Nah, shirts for cowards.
It was like one of those things where it's like I didn't even want to say anything. I'm like, okay.
It's a weird flex, but we're gonna go with it. I'm sure it's just doing that for dominance.
Yeah.
So what trailers did we see this week?
The only one that mattered to me was Detective Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu. Okay, so let's talk about Detective Pikachu. I would love the movie just a little bit more if all of the Pokemon were not weirdly slimy.
F you. I love the Pokemon trailer. I don't give a shit.
Out of the gate.
What's going out of the gate? I don't give a f. I'm excited about Detective Pikachu. That's it.
So tell me a little bit about your association with Pikachu.
Well,
with the Pokemon franchise.
Obviously, I'm a big fan of the Pokemon franchise.
I mean, it might not be obvious for the listeners. So
Yeah,
you
well,
gotta take us back.
I just said it, that I'm a big fan of the Pokemon franchise. What more do they need? Do they need my cred?
No, take it back. Let me.
The first game, I remember like the very first Pokemon that came out, Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue, and I played that very first Pokemon on a Game Boy Color, which I no longer have, unfortunately.
Got to play the sad music.
Sad Hulk music.
The sad Hulk music when Bruce Banner, Dr. David Banner, was walking down the road, hitchhiking in the dust.
You know, I love JRPGs, and Pokemon is a really wildly fun game. I kind of, after the first few generations of Pokemon, I kind of lost interest a little bit, or maybe not so much lost interest. It's just like life took me other places. But then I came back to it on the most recent one, not the most recent. I came back to it on Pokemon XY, which is a really, really fun version of the game. Mm-hmm. It has Pokemon to Me, where you can feed your Pokemon little treats and pet it and crap and play with it, which honestly is the dream.
Do you remember, what was it? Oh, yes, it was Pokemon Hospital that I wanted to, like, incorporate, like, the fact that because this is, like, cartoon dog fighting.
Oh, my God.
That's
right, because you always wanted to take it to, like a real world thing and ruin it for everyone.
Thing. I mean, just think about, like, how much more you would be, like, connected.
Nobody wants to play your disgusting Pokemon Hospital game,
no, but
Scott.
How connected would you be if when you took it to Nurse Jenny to the vet, that you had to, like, that the Pokemon would get like a scar from where it had gotten wounded, which would give you like a little reminder
that would be kind of cool.
Of your failures as
Actually,
a Pokemon
no, that
trainer.
Wouldn't be cool. That would be horrible because shut up.
You would get a Pikachu.
You need to be quiet because that is just really upsetting to me right now. I can't think about that.
You would get a Pikachu that
Do you know how much I die inside when a Pokemon faints in battle?
Right, but
how
now it faints
and
it has to wear a cast.
I hate you. I hate everything about this concept.
And then you'd have to take it to the nurse's
everything
station, and they would have to put it in a cast, and so you'd have to do like physical therapy, and instead of like playing games, it would be like, exercising that muscle so that it was.
Oh my God! Why are you?
And then, but then you'd have that moment when you get to take that cast off.
Oh my God!
And it would be like weird and gray, and the fur would be wet. You'd have to like bathe it.
This is a bad concept.
And rehabilitation, I think that would be awesome because every single Pokemon would look different because they would all be scarred up in their own unique way.
I don't like that concept.
I think that would be rad. I think it would be the dark Sonic. What was the Sonic game where it was all dark and evil and dark Sonic?
Dude, I'm not a fan of. You're skipping franchises here. I'm not a fan of Sonic. I think I played one whole Sonic the Hedgehog game, and that was enough for me. You've obviously played more Sonic than I have.
Definitely not. No, I never owned a Genesis. I was a Nintendo kid.
Bullshit. We actually played it once. We actually rented one.
We rented it. Rent a Genesis?
Yes, we rented a Genesis to play the Sonic games. Sonic games. Did your sister have a Sonic? Didn't she have a thing that played the Genesis?
Yeah, she
to play that horrible Clax game or whatever.
God, she played Clax.
And then she'd always try to make us play Clax with her, and it's like nobody is invested in this game like you are, Kathy.
Nobody is invested in any game the way that Kathy is invested in games. My sister is one of those maniacs who we were competitive our entire lives. Like when it was February and my parents would kick us out of the house so that they could smoke dope with their loser stoner friends. We would like have competitions on the porch to see who could stand in the knee deep snow with our shoes off the longest.
This is what I'm talking about. And like when I talk about, I do not envy having like brothers and sisters when I hear you talk about what the two of you got up to.
We would do like somersault competitions underwater to see who could do, and I think like 20 was about our limit. And if you could imagine your lungs exploding and your vision starting to go black because you've not only twisted and turned yourself around, but you've done so in about like 45 seconds underwater. That is, that you haven't lived until you've nearly drowned just so you had bragging rights for a half an hour over your sibling.
Okay.
So, but Kathy is ferociously competitive. Like, I don't have that same sort of killer instinct. I was never really good at chess because she'd be like, "Ha, I got you." And it'd be like 6 moves, and she'd be like, "Check, check,
who cares?
Check, checkmate." She laid out.
Get demoralized.
It became.
Playing games with your sister is the worst.
She's
because I play games with your sister, and it is literally the worst thing in the world. She makes it so not fun to play them.
So we got this tabletop game, Betrayal at House on the Hill, and it's this really fun sort of choose your own adventure, like tabletop horror simulator. Like you uncover rooms in this house, and then you unlock, and the rooms have It's crazy. They got little cards associated with them, and there's these specific cards called omen cards, and you have these die that are 1, 2, and 0 pips, and you have to roll the die every time you unlock or open up or flip over an omen card. And if your die roll doesn't match the number of omen cards that are in play, you get this thing called the haunt begins. The haunt is one of, in the original set, it's 52 different horror scenarios like mummies or vampires or ghost brides or shrinking, or the house gets teleported to another planet or whatever. And so one person, with very rare exception, becomes like the traitor of the game.
And when your sister becomes a traitor, it is honestly the worst fucking thing in the goddamn world. You might as well give up now, because she's going to be relentless no matter what.
You might as
she's not going to make the experience fun. And like the whole thing of like being the villain is you should be trying to make the experience fun.
Right.
And not like demoralizing. And your sister just is able to suck the fun out of anything. I love your sister, but she is able to take the fun and just suck every little last bit of it out.
She, that's fair.
God bless her.
God bless her. I wish she was here to defend
Bless her
herself.
heart.
We've really got to get her on the show. We've really got to get her on the program at least once, because I've only ever played Settlers of Catan once, and it went like this.
Funny.
She pulled out all of the shit from the box. She set it all up, looked at the board,
he's exaggerating, but he's not.
No, looks like I won, and then put all the shit back in the box, and that was it. It was 20 minutes of mostly setup while she explained the rules, announced that she already had all of the resources in the land.
I was so fucking confused the entire time. I'm like, what do I do with this?
Do I floop the pig? What the is this? What am I doing with my life?
And like her explanations for me, and maybe it's just like, ADD brain.
Because it's resource management.
And I'm just sitting here going, you were explaining this, first of all, too fast. Secondly, this is way more complex than I can deal with right now.
Yeah. So suffice to say, we played Sonic once. And I don't remember that. And I don't remember ever being really impressed with it. So
no, it was boring.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer, because
I'm not looking forward to that, because I've already seen pictures of Sonic, and I'm rather more excited about Detective Pikachu, because I love Pokemon.
I think it's going to be frivolous and
yeah, it's going to be dumb, but like, here's the thing. I'm not going to see Detective Pikachu thinking it's going to be Oscar worthy, my dudes.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to see Detective Pikachu and you're going to like complain about the story or the characters, you're going to it for the wrong reasons. Like that dipshit that was in The Mummy when we saw it. The original Brendan Fraser Mummy.
We saw that, and Anne had to remind me of this, but some guy stood up at the end of it while the credits were running, and he went, well, that was bullshit. I didn't believe a word of it.
I know, and he was like complaining about like the story and the lack of plot and how the acting was bad, and I'm just sitting here going, it's the fucking Mummy, dude.
Did you expect it to be 2.5 hours of archaeologists slowly unwrapping Mummy from his shroud while taking?
Did you think this would be the English Patient?
Notes?
If you wanted to see the English Patient, motherfucker, go see that. This is
the
Mummy.
I think it was on VHS by that point.
It was the Mummy. You go to see the movie to see the frickin' Mummy.
You
see awesome mummy crap.
And yet, at the same time, when they make that dark universe, and they do it,
they overcomplicated it
so wrongly.
It's because they overcomplicated it. They tried to make it dark and serious. Listen, man, you don't go to see the Mummy for seriousness.
But I mean, I could see like a dark, serious movie, because the original Mummy, the Boris Karloff Mummy, was incredibly scary. But the problem with that is that they were using it like the Justice League movie or like the Batman v Superman movie.
Dark for the sake of dark.
No, it was universe building. It wasn't even a movie on its own. It was literally you had to have Russell Crowe's bloated cadaver amble out in a 3-piece suit and say, welcome to the dark universe. Let me explain how this is going to work.
Honestly, he was more interesting than Tom Cruise.
Vampires.
Tom Cruise is like a wet piece of paper.
Yeah, he's kind of charm-free.
Yeah. And the fact that he's always paired with somebody who's like, could be his like freaking daughter is just really creepy.
Yeah, I mean, but that's Hollywood, and that's not an excuse for Hollywood. It's just that
unfortunately
Tom Cruise is not the only example of it.
No, there's so many more.
It's like, I mean, do you remember when Sean Connery was paired up with Catherine Zeta-Jones? and he was like, he could have been playing her grandfather. I mean, they didn't even make that wide an age gap between Sean Connery and the man playing his son in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, because there was only 12 years difference between those two men.
Like 12 years difference between my
Father
sister and I.
son. That's father and son. And they decided, oh, he can totally be romantically linked with Catherine Zeta-Jones.
But the fact of the matter is Tom Cruise he's just wet. He's just wet cardboard. Like, he's a wet piece of paper. I don't know why people keep like putting him in movies.
Because he's perfectly symmetrical.
People are going to get mad about that.
Oh, because he's perfectly symmetrical. We have a friend,
care.
and I love her to death, but she loves Tom Cruise in ways that I cannot fathom at this point. Like maybe when we were younger and we just knew him from Top Gun and Cocktail and shit like that, like Risky
I can't
Business.
get past the fact that he believes in Xenu, so.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I really can't. I struggle every day. Well, fuck, Beck is a Scientologist.
Is he really?
He is a Scientologist. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, well,
For them, anyway.
Oh.
I don't like that. I think he's overrated. Come at me, bro.
what is this about her 60th
Fight
opinion?
me.
Is that okay? So, would you like to take
A question?
Would you like to take a question from Yahoo Movies and Entertainment?
Yes, I
Let
would.
me-
I would love that.
Okay.
Just dig right the in.
So I don't even know where to begin with some of these, but let's start here with need help finding the title of a dinosaur movie I saw when I was younger? ? I know it isn't Prehysteria, Carnosaur, Land Before Time. All I can remember is that dinosaurs pass off as people. I remember a scene, SEEN, where a guy goes into a room and looks inside, and it is dark, and he sees two dinosaurs, raptor-like, that were feeding or something. And there is a little dinosaur that was like gray. My God, there's more.
Holy shit.
Or something, and he was good, I guess. That's all I have about it. If you guys could help out, cause this has been driving me insane for a while now, thanks.
What the fuck? Was Prehysteric? Was that one of the options that it was not?
Prehysteria, yeah.
Is that even a movie?
Yes, that is a movie. That is a movie.
So it's not Prehysteria. What was the other one? Carnosaur
or Land Before Time. Because I'm hoping that it isn't Land Before Time out of those three, because really Land Before Time should not have raptor-like creatures.
And this was talking
eating.
about as if they were people?
Oh, yeah, that they were somehow... Sorry, I'm eating a fry. No, they're very cold now, and I think I'm done with them. But yeah, they're supposedly they're like hiding as people, according to this person.
They're
Yeah.
hiding as people?
Yeah, they're passing off as people.
So like they're like three raptors in a trench coat or something?
Yes. Hey, here's let's paint me this.
Okay.
Let's go on this magical adventure.
Okay, I'm going on this adventure
Come
with
with me, Dreamweaver, and let's bake this beautiful cake.
We're baking cakes together.
So, all right, let's start with that premise. So there
Okay.
are three raptors, and they're in a trench coat.
Okay.
And somebody just opened up a door to see them eating.
Where do you want me to go with
I have
that?
no idea. Let's play an improv game.
Okay.
Let's play an improv
I hate
game.
improv games, but cool.
You said that you were going to go with me on this
All right, I'm going to
magical
go with
journey.
you in this journey, but it's
You have to.
not going to be without resistance.
Take the ticket, and get on the goddamn bus with me. Andy.
I'll take this night bus with you.
So dinosaurs are...
Dinosaurs are hiding amongst us in
hiding
trench
amongst us
coats.
as people wearing trench coats and stacking themselves on top of each other. But what about the ones that are taller?
Especially when you're talking about like something the size of like a brontosaur,
Right.
Where it would just be like they're just trying to hide in plain sight with. Would it be like a dinosaur-sized trench coat, or would it be a human one? Just a little human
Just a little
one
human one,
wrapped
right,
around
perched right up
its
on top
head.
of his head. Yes, and his name
Or
is...
just like tied to a foot.
And he has a little smiley face. He's got a little smiley face painted on his knee.
I am human.
Hello, welcome to my beautiful home, fellow humans. Would you like to partake of my television? I'll go into the kitchen and get it.
Maybe they're like detectives trying to solve like a case. Like, they're trying to keep the dinosaurs. They're trying to be on the down low so the human population doesn't find out. But there's some carnivorous dinosaurs that are just like not into it and they want to eat people.
Wow, this is almost like some sort of a weird amalgamation of Theodore Rex with Whoopi Goldberg and John Goodman. And
Zootopia.
Yes, I was just going to say that. Zootopia. Thank you. I was like thinking Hop. Hop's not the right one. Hop is the name of the character in Zootopia.
Yeah, Judy Hopps.
I only saw it once, and it awoke something dark inside of me.
That's already been woken with you. You saw cats, Scott. The last time we were here, you went off about cats. So I think you're awake. Yes, I can.
I can always edit that part out.
Oh yeah, we can rewind time. We can figure that one out.
Well, I think that every child goes through that period where like they see the anthropomorphic cartoon characters and they think, well, okay, now these are creatures
Scott's
that have
trying to
become
justify
somewhat
his furriness.
sexualized because, the boys are wearing adventurous like outfits and the girls have
Except for in cats where the Rum Tum Tugger is legit.
sexed up. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean,
he is
let's-
always
let's
on the
not-
wrong
let's-
side of my door.
You want to get him on the right side of your door.
Well, I don't know.
We're
what is
taking
the right-
this into a weird area again. Why does it always have to go here?
Hey, there's nothing he
Every
enjoys like
single
a
time.
horrible mugger.
What?
There's nothing he enjoys like a horrible mugger.
Muddle?
Muddle. I think that he likes horrible.
Are you gonna force me to look up the freaking lyrics to this?
I thought you would have them all memorized. It is.
I
Cats.
did at one point actually.
You were a Cats girl.
I
and I think
was.
that we need to talk about that.
I was a big Cats
Because
girl.
we're-
I saw it when I was 10 years old. What are you talking about? I saw it in L.A.
Because we are clearly not going to.
And I
come
still
around
think
to
I
this.
still think we actually have. I actually have the original bath towel that I got. I got like a beach towel.
The beach towel. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that I got from when I saw it in 1984.
crazy, and it is threadbare.
Yeah.
It doesn't wick moisture off from the human
No,
body
I
anymore.
don't. It's more of a treasure now than it is like an actual literal thing I used to as a beach towel.
So
It doesn't really function as a beach towel anymore.
So let's keep baking this cake because we're. it's
Hey
not
man,
even in the
I
oven
already
yet.
baked this cake for you. I mixed that up and I handed it to you,
Okay,
all
so I
ready
guess-
to be baked and crispy.
So I'm gonna add the raspberries or the dark cherries because this is gonna be a German chocolate cake.
Oh God,
You don't like shit in your cake.
no,
I
I
know.
don't.
We
I don't
all-
like freaking fruits and nuts in my cake.
I
Keep
like
it out.
Fruits. Are you kidding me? Why would
Well-
you want a fruit in a cake? It's fruit and chocolate. You have chocolate dipped
Fruits don't
strawberries.
belong there, Scott.
You have chocolate dipped strawberries. So
Yeah,
shut
but
up.
chocolate dipped strawberries are different.
What? How are they different? It's chocolate and strawberry. It's
Because the
chocolate and
chocolate.
strawberry.
Oh my God! Because the chocolate is not on the frick. The strawberry is dipped into the chocolate into a beautiful, delicious chocolate shell,
Uh-huh.
and then the fruit on the thing. It's not
Yeah.
the same thing.
Why?
Because it's
the
not.
frosting is part of the. It's chocolate as well.
The only time
You
it's
and
acceptable to have strawberries on cake is if it's vanilla. You can't do chocolate.
What?
You have to have, and it has to be like the full. It has to be the full thing. It can't be some sort of horrible filling. It
No,
has
I'm
to be the
calling
full strawberry
shenanigans on you.
on the cake.
I'm calling shenanigans on you right now. Strawberries inside of like the like a strawberry filling in a chocolate.
Strawberry filling is disgusting, and until you fucking admit it, we can't be friends anymore.
No, divorce. This is it. This is the breaking
This is
point.
it. We're
This is
divorce.
You've heard it here. My lawyers have
Okay,
just
so
informed me
if
that
you're
the
okay with
paperwork
like
is-
filling, what about lemon filling?
See, I
Everybody
don't-
knows that's fucking the devil.
But I don't like lemon filling at all. I don't like lemon bars. I don't like the only lemon. I
Lemon
will
filling in
suffer
cake is the freaking devil.
is
Everybody
I will
knows it.
Like lemon, lemons on in like tea, or
If you like lemon filling in
I
your
don't like lemon
cake,
filling.
if you like lemon
But
filling in your
I-
cake,
but
you're
I
a
don't.
devil. You're a demon.
You are.
We have to get two priests to exorcise you because there's clearly something wrong.
Or two very
Fight me.
attractive young boy brothers who drive around in a Charger and have.
They don't drive around in a Charger.
Oh, sorry, it's an Impala.
Yeah.
Drive around in an Impala and have a lot of salt in their trunk.
Yep.
My favorite thing about Supernatural, because we're never going to get back to this dinosaur.
No, we're never gonna get it. That's gone.
My favorite part about Supernatural was like the early seasons when they had that book that literally told them exactly what it is that they were facing at all times. times and how
Yeah,
to destroy
their demon book.
The demon book that they had was like, well, what do we got today? Well, it looks like we have a banshee. A banshee is, and then we'd go and read through everything that a banshee is, says, does, how it kills, and how it can be killed. And they'd say, circle of salt. And it was always a circle of salt. It's like, what do we got today? Oh well, looks like we're dealing with a liac. It's a Filipino witch. It's got
Circle
magic.
of salt.
Like
And they chant some crappy Latin, and and that would be it.
ba wop, ba weep, grana weep, ninny bong, and then circle of salt, and that would be done.
Yep.
10 points for anybody who guesses ba weep, grana weep, ninny bong. Put it in the comments.
Don't put it in the comments.
Or email it to us.
Email it to Scott and tell him what a nerd he is.
Email it at blueheavenpictures@gmail.com.
Send your dick pics and your questions there.
And yep, put it right in my inbox because I want to see them. I want to see them. So okay, so we're not coming back to. We're not going to come back to.
No, we're not. You want so bad to
I
come
want
back to
so
it, but what
badly
more?
to come back
What more
to-
can there be said? I already boxed it up for you.
Well, okay, so
neat
no,
as a
so he
freaking
comes in-
picture.
so he walks in and he's like, Steve, are you 3 velociraptors in a trench coat?
I don't know what you're talking about, Todd.
But I just saw you clamber back up into a trench coat and you looked like 3 velociraptors. What's going on? You passed as human yesterday. I let you babysit my kids. I let you babysit my 3 children, and we still haven't found Lisa. So, do we have something that we need to discuss?
And then Todd just slowly scoots out of the room towards the door.
So, but Todd's got to be a celebrity. He's got to have a celebrity voice. I think that we have to like.
Who would you have for the celebrity voice for 3 velociraptors?
I think Steve Carell is the top raptor.
No, that's overrated.
I mean, no,
I say Jeff Goldblum because it'd be funny and ironic.
that would be. So Jeff Goldblum, but can Steve Carell be the middle raptor? Can we have like a 3? Because it's
suppose
got to
if
be
you
3.
have to.
I mean, we can't get Jeff Goldblum for all. For the Raptors,
I guess he would be the lead raptor, and then we could have Seth Rogen for like the fat raptor.
Yes, because he's got to have because he's the bottom raptor, so he's got to represent legs.
And then he always complains about not being on the top.
Hey, why am I not on top? That's my terrible Seth Rogen.
That was
Seth
the
Rogen
worst.
What? Okay, you do Seth Rogen.
I'm not going to try to attempt
Ass.
Seth Rogen. I don't do impressions. You know I don't. I don't do impressions or like accents. I can't. I'm physically incapable of doing them. And not just because I'm sick. We're going to have to cut this section out because it's too weird. Let's go for a different transition to say things I'm still mad about. Sidekicks in 80s kids cartoons.
Sidekicks in 80s kids cartoons. So tell me, all right. So I'm going to put on my therapy glasses, and you're going to lie down there on your long couch, on your chaise lounge.
But the
and
thing
tell
is,
me
I'm not the only one
what
who's
it is
mad
that-
about this.
Oh, but
I am the most
this is
emotional
yours-
about
this
it,
is
though.
your bit. I've got a bit.
It is my
I've got a
bit.
all mine.
So it was a theme. It was like a theme in a lot of 80s cartoon shows to have sort of a goofy side character who is often some sort of like pet or anthropomorphic sort of character who follow the protagonist around. And really their only real purpose on the show was to sell more plush toys, or because a lot of 80s stuff was just, like kid shows were basically vehicles for toys and action figures and plush things
I mean, there
for
was a
kids to
reason
buy.
why there was a reason why most of it was sponsored by Mattel or
Yeah.
Kenner. He-Man was a toy first before it was an action figure.
So you have a lot of these
cartoon.
80s shows that have these just sort of extraneous side characters. And one of the more annoying ones was from the Punky Brewster animated television show that I in particular hated. Even back when I was a little kid, he like drove me up the wall. And, I guess we probably should explain Punky Brewster because there might be people who don't know what Punky Brewster is. Because
Punky Brewster was one of those shows in the 80s that could only have existed in the
Yeah.
80s. It was about an orphan, kind of like an Orphan Annie situation, and she just gets discovered in an empty apartment by this curmudgeonly old white man.
Yep.
And then, apropos...
her and her dog.
And her
Brandon.
dog. And he just adopts her. He's like 75.
Yep.
And adopts a child, and nobody seems to
Nobody says boo about it.
Nobody
They're like,
seems the
that's
least
cool.
bit concerned about.
And it's just about her and her friends' really stupid adventures, and they learn things every week and yada yada. And it was wildly popular in the
it was
80s.
incredibly popular.
Probably not so much anymore. I mean, I don't really know that there'd be many kids,
Although she was the first character that I saw on TV that had mismatched socks. And
Yeah.
mismatched socks are huge right now.
Are they
Fidget
really?
spinners and mismatched
Well,
socks.
they didn't have fidget spinners back in the 80s.
But they had. But she had mismatched socks.
She did.
And,
that was like a big thing, and my mom would never let me do it because she said it looked stupid. But I mean, props to my mom. Fair. Props to my mom. She knew what was best for me.
Unlike your perm.
I'm like, no, she let me make that mistake myself.
I
I was old enough at that
bridge.
Like when I was like 8 or 7 or 8 when that mistake was made, and obviously, at that age you have to keep your kids from making dumb mistakes. But by the time you're 15, you can make your own mistakes. So she's like, go for it, idiot. Like, you're gonna regret it. No, I'm not. I regretted it. 2 years later, I'm like, damn, she was right. Yeah, so Punky Brewster was the show, and they decided NBC decided that they wanted to
Animate.
Yeah, because obviously it'll make more money, more views, more money, yada yada. So they decided to make an animated cartoon show. And for some reason, the concept of Punky Brewster for the cartoon show was just not enough.
It wasn't not enough for her to be this, living in this New York, 1-bedroom apartment, sleeping on a couch with a 75-year-old white man and all of her Benetton flag of
Well, she eventually got
friends.
her own bedroom, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay, so fine. Maybe he slept on the couch. I don't
Could
know.
be.
Suffice
I
to
don't
say,
know. It's been a while since I've seen that show.
In the 80s and 90s, television was a little bit more structured because we had far fewer channels available to us all the time. So all the cartoons were jammed onto Saturdays. Saturday morning
cartoons was like, if you were a kid from the 80s and 90s, Saturday morning cartoons were the place to be. And obviously, the Punky Brewster introduced another character,
a magical space alien.
Wasn't he a magical space leprechaun or something?
I mean, well, he had magic, and I don't remember if it was a leprechaun, but he had magic, and he could do magic. Because that's what a lot of these idiotic cartoon character side grabs were. They were all magical, like Orco in He-Man. You had these 6-foot tall, divinely well-muscled monster men, and then Orco.
He's a leprechaun gopher, according to the Wikipedia.
A leprechaun gopher.
Yep. He comes from Shandun, a city at the end of the rainbow, and possesses various magical abilities.
Eat shit. Eat a dick. Eat a dick, world.
And he was fucking obnoxious. He had the most fucking obnoxious voice in the history of voices.
And guess who can do it?
Yeah, you can do it. I can't do it.
Okay, and he had this pidgin English way of speaking that was, so I'm guessing it was supposed to be endearing, and it
was just annoying.
It came off as irritating because
grating.
It was grating. So if you can imagine this poor fucking voice actor sitting alone in a room making the most obnoxious voice that you could, and speaking a script that people wrote with their minds down to their hands and into typewriters, and it would hello, Brandon Doggy is Glomer friend for life. It was
It was
worst.
so bad. I just had flashbacks hearing that too.
You had some PTSD, you had some Vietnam style flashbacks where you're hiding under the table. Oh God. Yeah, and Orco was basically the same voice, and then we had Snarf on the Thundercats.
God,
Snarf, because they were all the Snarf. And he wasn't even magical; he was just a burden. He was.
Yeah, he was like fat Gilligan.
Yes, he was.
He was like fat furry Gilligan.
Okay, so here's this thing, this
consistently ruining everything. Snarf consistently ruined everything for everyone. He was always in the way, always doing dumb shit that got people in danger.
And if he babysat a piece of equipment, he would inevitably destroy it or allow it to fall into the hands of the beast
fucking moron.
He was the worst.
I think that Darwin should have just done its work, and they should have just let him die.
Oh yeah, they should have not pulled him from the fiery wreckage of the
Nope.
Thunder Cruiser.
Just fucking leave him in there. It's for the best. No one's gonna complain.
Snarf, Lion-O!
Oh, God.
Lion-O, Snarf!
Can you imagine living with that? Think of it. Think about that for a minute. Think about having to live 24/7 with that fucking thing in your life.
You let that thing sleep in your room so that it could snore in the middle of the night. Snarf!
Yeah, no.
Snarf, snarf!
I would just like quietly, like when they're
Push
all
a
asleep at the
pillow over its
campfire. No,
face.
just at a campfire, just quietly everybody leaves.
Just walks away silently.
Just
and
walks
leaves it.
away silently and nobody ever
ties him-
talks about him again. That would be my idea.
Just ties him to a tree and then we don't speak of it. We just...
Don't speak of it ever fucking again.
Hey, Panthro, did you ever find out what happened to Snarf? Snarf, the name doesn't ring a bell. But I
Snarf
think
or
I've
Snarf?
got some of him in my teeth. They should have just fucking eaten him.
Oh my God, you should have.
They should have
They,
renamed
they, they
him.
don't tell Lino though. Like, where'd we get this meat from?
They did.
I,
This is tasty, but there's not a lot of meat on these bones.
And they're like, yeah. Tiger's just like, yeah. Say, where did Snarf go? No idea. Must have
You
gone
must
to
have
get.
had a dream. We've never had a Snarf.
He must have went to get some berries.
It was a dream. You never had a dog. You never had a Snarf. We
You never
sent him
had a
away to live
Snarf.
on a farm. He chases raccoons all day. He's fine.
But this this actually hit like its apex, I think, with the real
You mean it's
Ghostbusters.
nadir.
It's nadir, yeah.
Yeah.
Nadir's
Yeah.
probably a better word for it. But yeah, it hit the nadir with the real Ghostbusters, which in and of itself, the original show was actually really fantastically fun. It delved into mythology and all sorts of really cool things. Like the original couple seasons were actually really, really cool. And then Slimer started to become a bit more prominent because they really liked selling toys.
Because, I mean, it started off with The Real Ghostbusters,
And then it
they
became-
changed its name to The Real Ghostbusters featuring Slimer.
And then Slimer and the real Ghostbusters.
Slimer became top billed, and they would have, like...
And I don't know why, because it's like I didn't know anybody who thought Slimer was the best part of that show.
Well, I mean, other than he could slap his goddamn goofy mug onto, like, the ecto
That's
cooler.
basically it.
That's basically it, is they wanted... And he was literally like a green manifestation of the Ghostbusters logo, so that it's all branding, but... I mean, I liked season 1 of The Real Ghostbusters, and this is going to get really nerdy because the voice of Peter Venkman was Lorenzo Music, who's got this velvety.
Well, I mean, everybody knows Lorenzo Music. It means the voice of Garfield.
Was the eternal voice of Garfield, and he was the voice of Peter Venkman in the season 1 of The Real Ghostbusters, and they had to call it that because there was already a cartoon show called Ghostbusters,
Which, let me tell you, was fucking
was
confusing.
really confusing when we would get the Montgomery Wards or the Sears catalog, and we would see like Ghostbusters merch. You had to look really closely to see if it had that goddamn gorilla in the hat.
I remember the one time where I saw it on like the programming. I'm like, oh, Ghostbusters. So I went and watched it. I'm like, what the fuck is? Why is that
What
guy
is
got
it?
aviator glasses on? What's this with this fucking monkey? Like, this isn't the Ghostbusters. What the fuck?
It was based on an old film.
An old God,
Was
who
it
was
Don
it?
Knotts in it?
No, I don't think it was not Don Knotts. I think it was they were the same people who did the Banana Splits.
Oh, it was Hanna-Barbera?
Yeah.
Was it? All right. Well, we're
think
looking
so,
that.
yeah.
We're
Hold
looking
on.
that right the hell up.
Yeah, you look it up.
Because wow, yeah, I actually gotta. No, this is gonna be the worst part of the show.
Is the part where we look it up on the internet.
Boy, I really wish that I had somebody to read the internet to me.
What? So what?
No, this is literally the worst thing that we could do
This
with
is
our
this
time.
is this is like the death.
This is
This is like death right here.
this
We're
is
dying.
the worst thing ever. The Ghostbusters. Oh no, Forrest Tucker was in it, and Larry Storch.
I don't know who either of those people are.
Oh no, it was called the original Ghostbusters. The cartoon had Peter Cullen in it, the voice of Optimus Prime.
Oh. I don't care.
But yeah, the Ghostbusters was Forrest Tucker, Larry Storch, and Bob Burns, who is the greatest gorilla suit performer probably ever. But no, it wasn't a Hanna. It wasn't a. It was a
Hanna-Barbera. Who was it?
No, it was a TV series, but it was Filmation.
Filmation?
Yeah,
Okay.
the production company was Filmation.
Glad we cleared
Filmation
that
was
up.
the production company that did the cartoon show as well. So, but Lorenzo Music was the voice of Peter Venkman, and there is a very pervasive and I think like widely accepted rumor that Bill Murray hated Lorenzo Music.
What, because he sounded too close to Bill Murray?
Because he sounded too close to Bill Murray. He didn't like the impression that they were doing of him.
Yeah, because I don't think they had likeness rights for the real Ghostbusters at all. So they had that's why in the real Ghostbusters the dude who plays Egon is blonde rather than being dark haired.
And why Ray is a redhead, et cetera, et cetera.
Why none of them look like they're actual actors.
But he didn't like the voice, so he demanded that they change it, and because of some aspect of his contract, they were able to swap out Dave Coulier from Full House. Well, he wasn't from Full House yet; he was just a stand-up comedian, and so I think that the voice quality went downhill, and that's the stupidest thing in the world for like a person. But I'm like a voice actor nerd.
Yeah.
Like some of my heroes are like
So
John
fair.
DiMaggio and Billy West and Troy Baker and Nolan North and Laura Bailey and Tara Strong. So I mean, these are people that I know by name because they're
They're like the unsung heroes of actors because they provide all the voices for.
I mean, all the voices.
Yeah, things that are iconic. I mean, when you think about Batman's voice, whose voice do you hear?
You think of Kevin Conroy,
Obviously,
or Mark Hamill as the Joker, or
like,
Maurice LaMarche as the Brain.
that one dude from Wings, the Superman.
That one, the other one,
The other guy from Wings. Not the one who was in the bad version of The Shining. The other guy from Wings.
Like the other guy from Wings. Oh my lord! Oh no! But so that and that brings around like I mean, every cartoon from the 80s had to have that obnoxious character. Like they got much better at doing like the Netflix Voltron or the Dragon Prince. They don't have that obnoxious character.
No,
They've
thank
got the
God.
one that's
They figured it out.
They figured it out. There's Greg and Wirt in Over the Garden Wall,
Which is a lovely series.
Greg is a wonderful character. He's supposed to be that one that's kind of goofy, but he's goofy in this really beautiful and endearing way. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's splendid. But then because I'm looking at Filmation. Filmation was, I think, also responsible for Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh my God!
And
And that one, with that stupid kid who is the freaking barbarian, and Uni the unicorn.
Oh,
which
Uni
God.
the unicorn. That's
And then what was it? There was also that one kid who played the
Ranger. Yeah, I mean they were all weirdly obnoxious and
in their own special way.
In their own special way. But I mean, that's crazy to look at the like voice cast list. Like Willie Ames is in it. Willie Ames is in it. He played Hank the Ranger.
Did he?
Yeah, Don Most.
Oh wait, no, it wasn't the Ranger. Then it had to be the knight.
And Peter Cullen again. Peter Cullen, voice of Optimus Prime. Frank Welker, voice acting legend. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Willie
did the monkey from Aladdin. So hooray for him.
I defy you to make monkey sounds right now. I defy you to make monkey
sounds. You know I
sounds.
can't make monkey sounds. I'm not going to. It's beneath my dignity.
This coming from the woman who tried to do the lion's roar in a lion.
You don't
Oh
bring that
yeah,
up.
we're gonna go there.
Oh,
We're gonna go
you.
there. I had to do Glomer. So we've got to at least tell this
God.
story. So we got to the moment.
Can I tell my own story?
Oh, sure. I didn't think you would. I thought I'd have to.
We were listening to the Lion King soundtrack, and I was just thinking about like how cool that moment was at the end where Simba roared and everything. And then I got to thinking like, can humans roar, and would it sound as cool as when lions roar?
And so the music is hitting the moment. The sky has parted. The clouds have cleared. The rain has stopped.
So I just roared.
And Simba takes those tentative first steps up to the very lip of Pride Rock. And the music is swelling, and Anne, apropos of nothing as we're listening to this music, just opens up her beak and goes, but it was amazing. It was amazing. You have no idea how extraordinary this
I remember
was.
you turned and looked at me, and you're like, what the
the
And then I
Because it
explained
was
it to you, and
beautiful.
I didn't explain anything.
And I will try. I will try my hardest because I know you've got a cold. I will try my hardest. We're driving down the road and the music, 10 footsteps, parts, clouds. It sounded
I tried so hard.
It sounded less like a lion and more like your dad got his dick in the door. Like for some reason he was streaking in the driveway and slammed his wiener in the car door.
Listen, man, I was just trying my
Beautiful.
best, Scott. I was just trying my best. I was just a 20-year-old girl in a 20-year-old world trying my best.
Your best belonged to the doo-doo bin.
My best was garbage.
You should have just doused that with lighter fluid and struck the match.
And I remember you were just completely nonplussed. You're like, what the
What?
dude? And I don't think that my explanation of it, my fumbling explanation of it, has ever made it any
I wondered
better.
if I could roar.
I just wanted to roar. I just wanted to be a lion for one moment.
You just wanted to clamber into that fursuit and pull the zipper up in the back.
Oh, Christ. Maybe not that part of it, but I
Oh
did
my
completely want to roar.
Yeah. You
Didn't
did
work
it,
out
dude.
really well for me, though.
You did it, dude. But that isn't like the weirdest moment that we ever had listening to the Lion King sound.
No, that isn't. We're going to bring up your sister.
We're gonna bring up my
again.
sister. God bless her. I really wish that she'd come on the show. So, Kathy, if you do end up listening to these episodes,
She's
please,
not going to listen to it.
please come on the show. We were driving out to.
Not
Okay,
if
so
we were
live
taking
in,
a piss out of her last few episodes. We consistently keep taking the piss out of her every single time.
So we're driving to Holland, and for those of you who don't know, it's a coastal city that's on the west coast of Michigan. So we were driving out there for scuba lessons, and I don't know what possessed me and Anne to take
Your
scuba
sister
lessons.
can be very persuasive when she wants to be.
And very generous, and I think that she paid for our lessons. But it turns out that I can't do it because I have holes in my ears. I'm partially deaf.
And I got a serious sinus infection, so I had to quit.
Yeah, when I was a kid, my parents did not know whether or not I failed some hearing tests, so they got me back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. There was a procedure called irrigation tubes where they'd poke a hole in your eardrum. And,
Yeah, that makes
and stick a
sense.
tube in there to try to drain out some fluid so that you could hear better, and it never worked, and it turns out that it's damaging.
Yeah,
And
it turns out it's unnecessary and damaging.
yeah, and so the holes in my ears, healed over though they were, meant that for some reason I couldn't equalize pressure. So I would go down to the bottom of the pool and not be able to equalize the pressure in my head, which is something.
But we're
really,
getting off the track.
We're getting off track. So Kathy could never listen to the wildebeest stampede, that wonderful choral piece of music from the film that
Yeah.
it precedes and during the wildebeest stampede where spoiler alert for a movie that's 25 years old now,
Yeah.
is that Mufasa is trampled to death. Sorry,
Yeah, sorry.
boo.
So you had to hear. Sorry, you had to hear it here.
Yeah, sorry that
Mufasa's
you're
dead,
you're
motherfuckers.
getting your hot fire from a source that's going to break your heart. And she couldn't listen to it. She would always beg us to skip. Now we had a tape player in the car, so we had to like fast forward. And every time we'd fast forward and hit play to see if we'd made it through the track, and it was still going on, she'd go, "Oh, no!" And we were very confused as to why she couldn't listen to it. And her explanation,
Her explanation explained exactly nothing.
It really
Helped
did
nothing at
pose a
all.
lot more questions than it
Yeah,
did.
and she
had
never
answers.
ever
She
clarified.
never clarified. She said it sounded like
Fleeting spirits.
I don't know.
And that's
what that
exactly the way she said it. Fleetin' Spirits.
Like she added that extra syllable. My sister is one of the most intelligent people I know. She has like multiple degrees from university. She's got a master's degree in but Fleetin' Spirits was how she described the sound of the music. She couldn't listen to it because it sounded to her like Fleetin' Spirits, and no matter how hard we pressed her on this.
Yeah, like could you explain, please?
What does that mean? And she goes, I don't know. It sounds like Fleetin' Spirits, and I would love to just spend an hour or two trying to posit what the hell that means.
I mean, I guess maybe
It
the
means
souls of the dead that torment her.
or that are trying to escape torment or
I guess.
purgation.
I don't know.
Or that they're in purgatory. Fleeting spirits means the dead that aren't there long. That doesn't make any more or less sense.
Yeah. If they're
doesn't-
fleeting, then why is it a bad thing? They're
They're going up to heaven or whatever.
yeah,
for
they're not
fuck's
going to be
sake.
there that long. 2 seconds at most, my dude.
But fleeting, and I don't know if she meant fleeing spirits, as in like
Yeah.
souls of the damned or whatever, or the souls of
Who knows?
I have no idea. It was amazing. Okay, so the very little bit of time that we've got left,
Okay.
I think I would like to talk just a little bit about something that pisses me off because
Okay.
you've had 2 shots at it,
Okay.
and now I want to.
And I think we've done a pretty good job of talking about how terrible that is. How
Oh,
much
yeah.
it irritates me.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and that is slow songs on the rocket ride.
Oh my
How
God.
many people raise your hand as you're at home
Don't
driving
raise
to
your
work
hand.
or whatever? Don't raise your hand. It's okay. You don't have to. I can't see you anyway. That got on the rocket ride on like in an amusement park. You know the one. It goes around and around in circles. You sit in a little rocket ship and it goes up and down in a wave. And it's that one. It's that classic one where they're like, "Do you want to go faster?" And then they make it go faster.
And then
they
Richard
stop
Marx starts playing,
and
and,
then
it
Richard
ruins.
fucking Mark
Yeah.
starts playing. Right here, waiting for you is the worst song
Right here, waiting for you.
that you could play
I'm sorry, I
with
did
the
that.
and because when I was a child and to this day I'm not conventionally attractive. So when I was a kid, I kind of looked like an adopted potato in Kmart
It's
jeans.
terrible. Don't say that.
I really was not an
You're a
appealing
beautiful
kid,
human being.
and so
You're a beautiful human being. Don't be so
I
negative.
looked like-
even Jean is just looking at you like, why would you be
I
so
look like a
negative about
loner.
yourself?
I look
That's
like
terrible.
a loner stone. I look like
No, you
I look
don't.
like a seriously. I look like a beater handbag, like the one that you take out during the winter time.
Such
So, but I was a
negativity.
kid, and I was kind of round. I was a little rotund, so maybe not an
I just
adopted
wanted to
potato,
go
as a microwave
faster,
potato. I
and
just
Richard
wanted to
Marx does not take you
Marx doesn't make it-
faster.
But so I was always alone, and that was the thing that pissed me off. I was always alone. I was always alone
I
when they
just
would
wanted
start
to
playing.
go faster, and during the dances in junior high school, I just wanted
Same
to
thing.
dance, and like watching all these people, like teenagers groping awkwardly
Yeah.
while they're dancing
I
was
wanted
irritating
that.
to me. I did not want that.
But I
I
didn't-
wanted to fucking dance and get on the dance floor and bust a move and not.
I wanted to sit in the rocket ship ride with a gal by my side and when because when Debbie Gibson is singing that how she's lost in your eyes, I was sitting alone, so like the guy was like, "Do you want to go faster?" And I'd say, "No, I really want to go to hell."
And I'm taking you by surprise.
See, this isn't what you want to listen to. You want to listen to AC/DC. You wanted to listen to.
I want to listen to Motley Crue.
I wanted to
Kickstart
listen
Your
to
Heart.
Motley Crue. Yeah,
That's the best one for-
Kickstart My Heart is the
That's the
perfect,
best one.
The perfect song, and I can't tell you the number of times that I've had to sit in the rocket ship ride and they turn on LAV on the radio. I don't know why they didn't have a mix. Why they didn't have a
Yeah, just have a
playlist.
mixtape,
Why didn't
you
they have a
weirdos.
mixtape of something? Why did they always have to switch over to LAV? Because inevitably, Chicago's gonna come on.
Oh God.
I am the man who will fight for your honor. Oh, well, that's just Peter Cetera by himself. Hero.
Okay, that's probably all we can do without getting sued.
No, we can't get sued. We're not playing an actual piece of the song. Their algorithms can't find us. We're just singing it ourselves, man.
We're safe from the algorithms.
The algorithms
They'll
we
never
can't.
find us. We're not singing it good enough for the algorithms.
Okay, so that's going to be about it for us. Definitely like to thank From Big Sur, their band, the band that does their intro outro music. It's the song "Slide" off the album "Tear the Canvas Sky." I'd like to thank WKTV. Everything that we've said does not reflect the attitudes, opinions, or facts or information. Et
They
cetera,
just
et cetera.
shake their head sadly at us while we're doing this
they
podcast.
they deny 100% that we even exist. I would love to say that by the time that you listen to this, we have a Patreon page. I still don't know how to do it, but hey, we've only got episodes 1 and 2 up at the YouTube channel at this point. So maybe by the time I get around to cutting episode 5, is it?
I don't know.
Episode 5. By the time
You
I
expect me to freaking keep track of anything?
by the time
I don't even know what I wore last week or what I ate yesterday.
I have no. My brain just broke. Are you kidding me? I have no idea. I don't even know if I was alive. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up with one last entertainment and music and movies question from Yahoo Answers. BlueHeavenPictures@gmail.com if you do have any questions for us. Eurotrip. Who is the girl Candy in the swimming pool scene Cooper and Tree Sap breast movie?
That answer would be predicated on anyone seeing Eurotrip, and nobody saw Eurotrip. Wait, is there more?
No, that's it.
They just wanted to know the girl from Eurotrip?
No, Eurotrip, who is the girl Candy in the swimming pool scene Cooper and Tree Sap breast movie. Did you not hear a word I said?
All I heard
That
was,
should make perfect sense to you. Who is the girl
that
Candy
sounds
in the
like
swimming
somebody
pool
had
scene
a
Cooper and Tree Sap
stroke
breast
right
movie?
in the middle of writing it is what it sounds like. Like the dude had a stroke and just wrote out random words. Because the last part of that makes no sense. Like who is this?
You
Whatever
lost-
from your and then the
Who is the girl Candy in the swimming pool scene Cooper and Tree Sap breast movie?
It doesn't make any sense.
Because, yeah, you lost me after the word Eurotrip.
I know. That's basically what happened. I'm like, that's once again predicated on me seeing Eurotrip.
I understood everything up to the word is.
Everything after that is just confusion. And it makes me a little
Everything
angry.
Before that's confusion, too. Because, yeah, you're right. That would force us to give a crap about Eurotrip.
Is that even a movie?
Good night, folks.
Bye.